You would have everyone is TyranitarTube, Pokemon Sword and Shield, y'all, March 1st. So the trailer came up for this game. Dude, Sun and Moon keeps flowing off the tongue. Shut up! Leave it alone. Okay, so I have the trailer in front of me. I'm looking at it. Different parts of the trailer have been dissected. Y'all have posted in the comments your thoughts and every small detail. Like, look here. You can see a train going by. That's a big detail. Even the part where the dude's going up to play soccer. Which? Soccer. Soccer. Football? No. It's called football in normal countries. I get it. It's too cold to be normal here, but it's soccer. So F the soccer. Let me show you guys this. Okay, what is that? That's a fletchling, right? Like no one cares about that. So this scenery, clearly there's these rocks with certain patterns on them. Look at her carefully straddling down the stairs. So we're gonna skip some of the sceneries. This girl. So there's like a leading theory for what the starters are gonna evolve into in these games. You've seen fan renditions, they're all over the place. There's only a couple this time around. I wonder how many thumbnails they've made it to. It's been leaked. Grookey's final. So the first one they show here is on the Clockworks. My man is running. The new Torchic Chimchar. He looks like a Meowth almost. So you'll notice that for each of the starters, they kind of show something that could almost be a hint at what it's going to become. I mean, if you're the director of these games and you already know what they're going to come, you might as well put a hint. You would, just for the hell of it. The point is to put a hint and get people to want it to be a certain type because of the hint and then be right. So there's no doubt that they'll want to throw hints every now and then. So for Score Bunny, the hint is either that he's running on the metal crap, so he's going to be a fire steel type when he grows up, or that the way he runs, that he creates sparks and crap, which is easy to confuse for just fire, of course, and that he's going to become a fire electric type. Now give me the goddamn fire electric type. Fire steel could be cool. It could be almost looking like a firefighting type, but it's fire steel. Like a physical steel type. You don't have many of those. By physical, I mean like offensive. Fire electric, we only got budget oven. Can I please have a fire electric type? I know, when you send it in on water types, you're a freaking fire type. It hurts. But it's a cool typing. Here's the second one. Madudu, put out the fire. Sobble. How do I already... So of course, because my man had to light the... almost start a forest fire. By the way, do you notice it's like they're on, like, the lawn is nicely mowed. It's like Budget did that, but it's so they can play soccer. Soccer! So he pees on the fire, and look at this right here. Now y'all are... Okay, that is actually pretty mystical. Okay, so y'all have said that part right there is that he's sort of like blending in, almost like he's not there. And you guys are saying that that's a hint that he's actually gonna evolve into a water ghost type. It kind of works, right? Now, unless he's like some sort of chameleon and he can like blend in with the water. I know he blew, so maybe he didn't blend at all, you just couldn't see him. But that's what you guys are tinfoil hatting right there, that he's gonna become a water ghost type. The other idea is that he's Sobble. He's the sad crybaby water type. He kind of like the Magikarp. You know, everyone making fun of him. Remember, someone took the football from him. See, that's football. Soccer is soccer. Look, he's looking for the football again. Somebody take my football? So the idea is that he's like a sad, weak, underdog water type, and then maybe he'll turn into some sort of grand water type, like a water dragon type. Have the Gyarados syndrome, and he's gonna beat all the suckers up for taking his football. That's what the two theories are. Now we're gonna move on to... Look, he's trying to play football, dude. My dude got a touchdown. This freaking idiot right here. He's like dumb. He's like me as a kid, just smacking his head. Maybe he's a little smarter than me. He's smacking a stone. See, like, they made him do it. Why is he doing it? Is he playing baseball? People think that that's a hint that he's gonna become a freaking grass rock type. Now, there's like a lot of cool ideas out there. Like, he'll become a big silverback gorilla. He could be like a big, like giant, thick monkey. That's just a solid grass rock type, which are two really offensive types. So he could be a badass. Except they have like every weakness in the world as well. So those are the 5 typings that people think these stars are gonna spread out into. Fire Steel, Fire Electric, Water Ghost, Water Dragon, and just Grass Rock. Mans are putting Grookey in the dirt. He grew the grass back. See? How come I didn't notice that the first time? He's like, why would you make him Water Ghost, right? Like he's sad. Everyone makes fun of him. What, he dies? How about he becomes a dragon? They already had Primarina, right? So it's a water fairy type. It's not too far out to pick a type like dragon, because dragon is kind of overpowered, but so is fairy. Alright, so that's the starters. The next thing is the sceneries they show. So if you guys notice, on the Japanese logos and the English logos, They always do this for the Japanese ones. The English, plain. Let me just buy the version. For Japanese, they have like a symbol on them. For Oraz, it was the red and blue orbs. Sun and Moon had 2 Z crystals. This game has this weird logo. Kind of looks like a Pokeball symbol. But you might recognize like the shape of it in like black and white, where they had it on the gyms. And that's exactly what they have here. It's this sort of logo that's red and blue. It's got like these 3 white things spiraling, almost like a trio, like water, grass, fire, beats each other. And what that seems to be is actually the symbol for gyms in this game. This right here is a gym. He's walking into a gym. This is why he gets the cinematic crap. Wait for it. See, right here on this grassy field where they're playing football, soccer. This is a gym right here. He's not walking up cinematically for... Please walk. Do the walk. See, he's not doing the cinematic walk for some soccer game. Soccer! He's entering a gym. That's the theme. It's competitive. It's sports. That's just one of the gyms. It takes place in a soccer field. I don't know why we gotta wear the uniform and all, but what you'll notice is that he's got it on his outfit. So right here, it's on his freaking arm. You can get a better look here. It kind of does look like just fire beats water, water beats grass, grass beats crap. I said that wrong. Also, can we just talk about this right here? You see this last right here? Y'all have already shipped these two together. I don't have a problem with it. Go ahead. But it's like they just met. Look at this idiot. He has a freaking grub and I hope I can survive. So this is the next big thing that's to be pointed out in this trailer. It's right here. This thing right here. Y'all have posted in the comments. A lot of you guys apparently live near this. Like in actual life. It's the Cerne Abbas Giant. Or Abbas Giant. I don't know how to say it. But it's this giant, right? And no one knows anything about it. I tried to look it up, and you can see it right here on the Wikipedia entry. I'm gonna have to blur some crap. Leave me alone. So what it is it's been here for like 2,000 years. No one knows what it is or who made it, but it's an ancient structure. And the earliest time it was mentioned in our history is in the 17th century. This dude here is in England. Now, because of the way he looks, they associate him with fertility. Why Game Freak decided to make it based off him is a bit weird. But it's because they're choosing England as their region, and they wanted to use this. Now, because we don't know what he represents in the real world, we have no context to work with in these games, so it's still clueless. We can't even put 2 and 2 together and figure out what this guy's doing in these games. There have been some theories. The main one that I keep seeing is that this is actually Melmetal. It's a bit weird, and I'll get to it in a second, and that these are Melton. Other people say it's the 3rd legendary. We don't have much to work with. Other than that, it's an actual ancient structure. If it is a monument, it was built thousands of years ago. It's not depicting something recent. It's for something that happened in the ancient times in this region. With it being Melmetal, I don't know. Like, Melmetal, I still don't know whether Melmetal is just an extra Pokemon that was thrown into Gen 7 or actually a real Pokemon from Gen 8 that was hinted early. Because those are 2 completely different ideas. Because Melmetal could actually be a big deal, especially when you think about that rumor that came out that everyone is talking about armored evolutions. And I'll get to that later in the video as well. But armored evolutions, they say Melmetal could be the key to that. Because Melmetal literally is like a legendary Pokemon that is like the god of iron. It creates iron out of nothing. It's the Pokemon that could create armored Pokemon. And if you look at Melmetal's Pokedex entry, it said that it last was seen 3,000 years ago. So it had a purpose 3,000 years ago, and then it disappeared. And then now in the current year, it reappeared. Honestly, it doesn't look like Melmetal. Like, it looks like a giraffe. Like, it doesn't look like a giraffe. It looks like a dragon, right? It's not Melmetal. What is that? Oh my god, don't tell me that tail is Melmetal's freaking wire tail. I don't think it's Melmetal. Of course, my idea of that could change depending on whether Melmetal is a bonus Pokemon or an actual Gen 8, like, important Pokemon. But we'll see. There are some structures in the region. Like, if you see on the map, there's, like, that one town that looks like, you guys said in the comments, the Azoth Kingdom. And there could be, like, advancements, you know, in Industrial Revolution and crap that are, like, in the region. Oh yeah, here's another thing for the starters. Someone linked this to me from a Reddit post. So someone watched the Chinese version of the trailer and could understand it, so they translated what their names meant. And for Grookey, it translates to knocking sound monkey. And then you saw Grookey be hitting a stone in the trailer, so y'all were saying that maybe it's gonna evolve into a howler monkey. These monkeys are known for their loud howls, which you're gonna hear echoes of 3 miles away. Sabo's name, the water starter, translates to tears lizard. The Sabo, like a crying bull, a crying lizard. I guess that's where Sob comes from. Can't derive anything, but I was thinking that it could become a croc that shed crocodile tears, but for alligator. Saga, he's gonna become a dragon. Okay, maybe he's a crocodile. Maybe like he's a slithering crocodile. Like on all 4s, not standing up like for alligator. Dude, a crocodile. That'd be a sick water dragon type. And then Score Bunny's Chinese name means flaming little bunny. I don't know why it has a bandage on its head. And then someone here posted that for Grookey's Howler Monkey evolution, he could have like a cricket bat or something. Because in the UK, sports. And then there's this one. See, some tweets are helpful. Other tweets? Grookey gang, Grookey gang, Grookey gang, Grookey gang, Grookey gang, Grookey gang, Grookey gang. Spend $60 on a poker game. I caught that one. I forgot its name. Let's go back to the Cerne Abbas Giant. Can I get a stable screenshot of it? Look, my dude has a bandage on his foot. He played soccer. He hit it with the bottom of his heel. Mom, can I get a bandage? No, one of the bigger ones. No, it's not for my nose. My foot, Mom. Oh my god, dude, there's so many things. There's so many things that came from properly analyzing the trailers and all the information that's been coming. Oh my god, see when they shipped them, man. I don't want to open the threads. And I don't have a problem with it. They just met. Okay, maybe they want to see some other people. Who's this? Maybe we shouldn't care. Oh, I'm sorry. I came here looking for a picture of the Abbas Giant. Abbas Giant. Oh my god. Okay, Sword and Shield Hills. There you go. So this is where we get to the big part of the video. This is the important part of the video. This is what I'm going to leave you guys off with. Are we already here? Yeah, we're already here. So we went from tinfoil hat ideas to something that's a bit weird, okay? So this is the Cerne Abbas Giant, okay? Now take away from that. Let's look up the Galar region. Let's open a gallery. Okay, Galar. Wow. Can we see if they updated the regions yet? They updated it. The 8th region. Why does that make me excited? So if you open a map of the Galar region, right? Now try to think here. It's the UK, okay? And it's apparently upside down, right? So see, it's these 3 right here, and it's flipped upside down. Does it include Ireland? I don't think it includes Ireland. Oh my god. Let me see if it does. I'm gonna get slapped. 100 slaps in the comments. Let's just say it's this big landmass right here, flipped upside down. It's its own island, right? It's not connected to any land on the other side. Look, France down there. But if you take a look at the region, right? So people made jokes, you know, hallway simulator. Wow, a linear region. It's shaped like a giant sword. Pokemon Sword and Shield, the region is shaped like a sword. So, what's the implication? Where's the shield? And like you guys could see earlier in the trailer, let me pull it up. There's a mine. That's not a train. That's a minecart. Look at this. There's a train going by. Please give me a better... Look at that. It looks like the gold and silver train. Finally in 3D graphics. There's a train. There's train tracks. The train goes somewhere. Is it there to show that we have trains in the region? No. It has to have a purpose, right? Other people pointed out that, look, the region looks a little small. First of all, it's a giant region. Like, there's so much crap. It's just zoomed out. It's like, if you cut all of this out, and the region was only the top half, all of this, it would still look like a full region. It's because they extended and gave us all of this as well, that the region looks small. It's because they zoomed out so much. It's a giant region. Like, Kanto is just a little portion. Unless I got my sizes wrong. This is giant, dude. It's freaking all of this. Can I look at Kanto? Oh, hell, man. Kanto IRL. Look at Kanto. Look at Kanto. You see, all of this is Japan, right? There's China. There's a bit of Russia from the bottom. There's South Korea, okay? This crap right here. You can see it here. You see that portion? That's Kanto. Now, for a tip, if you guys didn't know, all freaking first 4 regions are Japan. The Sevi Islands too. You see all these little dots over here? Those are islands. Boom. Sevi Islands. Now let's put Japan and UK on a map. You see that? That entire crap is Galar. A little slice here is Kanto. It's a giant region. It's almost a bit weird. They made it a little too small for how big it is. I might have this all twisted. And if you look around the region, there are train tracks that go all the way around. Now some of them are mine tracks. Not this one. This one must be a train. But this one's a minecart track. Probably. You can dive even deeper. Like, people have pointed out where the gyms look like they're gonna be. Like one gym over here. Look, you can see the Stone Abbas monument over here from like 2,000 years ago. A gym here, like a gym right here, over here. This place has people hyped because it looks like a forest that you have to go through, like the Lost Woods, like a dark forest. And then also people have pointed out this place here. Now, there's probably a better picture of it, which maybe I can pull up on screen. That looks like a town where all the buildings are facing like inward, and it's like a closed off town. And then there's just a path inside. It's like an underground city, sort of. It's just closed off from all sunlight. It's not underground, it's above ground, but it's totally blocked off. That's not the point of this. There are train tracks in the region. In 2013, okay, Kalos, they gave us the trailer. It all comes together. Kalos was meant to give Kanto vibes. That's why they brought the Snorlax, the Poke Flute, gave us the Kanto starters and the Megas for a bunch of Kanto Pokemon. It was meant to be the Kanto. Now, 6 years later, from 2013, in 2019, what if this region was the Johto? What some of you guys are posting in the comments is that there's a lot of train tracks in this region. The train seems to be vital. What if you can take that train to Kalos in the post game, and what we saw in X and Y wasn't the only game Kalos was gonna be in, and that maybe this region is linked to Kalos. Now, of course, there's no landmass that connects it because it's like it's the British Isles, right? It's all one secluded island. But if you cross the sea right next door, remember I said there's France poking out? That's Kalos right there. The train can cross the seas and go to Kalos. It's a really cool idea because if you think about Kalos being a revisitable region, it kinda identically is Kanto. Kanto isn't too big. It's similar. It even has Saffron City in the middle that connects it to a bunch of places, which is Lumio City. Whether Game Freak planned it or not, or intended it or not, it is mirroring it pretty well. Now, it goes deeper than this, okay? Now, the region is upside down, so I don't know if Kalos is down here, or Kalos is like right up there. Like a little dot there, there's Kalos. But if Galar is linked to Kalos, Gen 6 and 8, that's so cool, if it would be true. If they are linked, and there's gonna be some crossover between Galar here and Kalos, and maybe their lore is even linked, and the ancient war that took place, and the monument here that's a couple thousand years old, and depicting something from ancient times as well, if their ancient history is linked, then maybe the reason that this is shaped like a sword with no shield is because Kalos is on the other side, shaped like a shield. Let's open up a Kalos. Look at this crap. Now, it's a pretty hideous shield, but it's a fat region. And I mean, especially if you look at it from the side, it's shaped like a shield. But it gets even crazier. Let's leave Kalos for a second, okay? So the mythology for this region, people have been saying a lot of stuff. One of the big ones is King Arthur, Knights of the Round Table, Excalibur, the legendary sword, Aegis, which is like this protective thing in Greek mythology. There's a lot of ideas. Sword and shield goes a far way. That's just the basic idea. There's not much to work with unless people come up with some good theories. But King Arthur and some sort of hero is what people are thinking right now. But what's really cool is, if you go to their site, people used to do this for fun. Let's do it. Pokemon, look at that. Pokemon.com Sword and Shield. If I take this man, right, and I drag him up here, and then I take this dude and drag him over here, go. You'll notice that the assets here, both of these file names are tagged as Hero Logo 1 and Hero Logo 2. Pokemon Sword and Shield. Which means that the code names for these games, Sword and Shield, is Hero. For reference, Black 2 and White 2 was Swan, because Univa's New York and they got swans, or mute swans. Or as was Sango, meaning coral, for the 7.8 out of 10 too much coral. X and Y was Kujira. Nobody knows why, it means whale. And then Sun and Moon was Niji, the rainbow, because that's the region where they lose all their light and Necrozma takes over. The game's being called Hero could give us a hint to the concept of the game, which is Hero in ancient times, a hero that wielded the sword, wielded the shield, fought mans, and protected the region. And that hero symbolically, or in actuality, could be King Arthur, or whoever King Arthur is in the Pokemon world. In the time period that all this stuff took place, the ancient hero, the sword and shield, the Cerne Abbas Giant here, a couple thousand years old, all of this could line up to a time period of 3,000 years ago. In other words, this hero stuff could have happened at the same time as AZ is from. And coincidentally, back in the day, AZ spoke of a war that happened. That's the story of X and Y, a war 3,000 years ago, and all the Pokemon died. And if you dug even deeper into the lore, apparently it was a lot more violent, like Float was stripped away from him and forced to fight in the war and ended up dying. And then in anger, AZ made the ultimate weapon, revived Float with Xerneas energy, packed some Yveltal energy in there, and literally disintegrated the whole battlefield in anger. This meant everything vaporized. I wonder if the reason AZ and Float survived is because they're kinda immortal. They can't age. Maybe they're immune to Yveltal energy. But that war, that region that AZ was talking about, that Kalos was fighting 3,000 years ago, what if that was Galar? See, this is the thing. It would be a hell of a twist. The kind of twist that Pokemon usually doesn't do. You know, allowing them to connect the story of two games like that, it's not something they do. It either means that they've been planning this since Kalos, which means that they're on a whole new level than us, or make Pokemon Z. Wait, these kids will never understand. 6 more years of Zygarde working at Starbucks? But it could be. AZ has traveled a bit further than just the story of X and Y. He even went to Hoenn and spread megas there, and everyone remembers him as a giant man. Like, it's kind of rude, but Wallace calls him like, yo, this 9-foot giant. He came here. He gave us some megas. What the hell is AZ doing? They take some stuns. Alright, and to pack it all up, Kalos is based off France. Galar is the combination of Scotland, England, Wales. I don't know if Ireland. Please don't. Okay, Ireland. Let's just say Ireland, and then we'll take it out. Kalos, France, Galar, the UK. In real life, England has gone to war with France. The Anglo-French wars. Now, my history sucks, so it's bound to suck even more here. But that war could be the counterpart, and what the AZ war is talking about is based off. And the region that AZ is talking about when they're talking about this war really could be this region that we're standing in now. Like, when you see the screenshot, it's almost like we're on the bad guy side of AZ's perspective, of course. But we're in that region that AZ hated so much that he packed up that Evelto crap and blew everything up. The region they're fighting really could be Galar. So yes, my history sucks, but as far as I can tell, England and France, they've been having conflict for a long ass time. Up to over a millennium ago. And for centuries, just constant fights back and forth. Not just small wars. If you look up the fights that happened, they happened since the early 1100s all the way till almost 1900s. This region, Sword and Shield, really does give you that vibe of having been in a fight. That's what Sword and Shield is. And remember how AZ is referred to as a giant wherever he goes? Rude ass Wallace. Well, look at the figure on the hills. No one knows what that figure is, even in real life. Whether it's something bad or good. If it's a hero, it's a monument to him. And if it's a bad guy, then that thing is a warning to the future. Who knows what the figure on the hills is? Alright, but if you ask me, it's not someone good. Alright, in the perspective of the people living in Galar, this is not someone good, alright? He's got the signs of chaos, of a dragon. He can spit fire, alright, he got a tail, and he got scales. You see these? You see, it's not Big Bird, it's scales. It's almost like a giant Tyranitar, which is Godzilla. That's not the point. They're depicting this giant in a destructive way, like he's some demon. Like he's the symbol of chaos, a dragon. And that meaning could be lost today, 3,000 years ago, as it is in the real world. We don't know what this is. Doesn't necessarily mean that it was a big dragon that tormented the region. It could just be symbolically representing the chaos and the bad person. And to the people back then in Galar, that could have been AZ. He was never a good person. That's why he hates himself. That's why Floet left him. Alright, he's better now. But my dude vaporized. This is what he did, okay? Looked at the dudes fighting. He saw the Pokemon fighting on his side. He vaporized everything. Both sides. They say there's no victors in war, but like this time there really isn't. Like it's even worse. It's not even nice. To add a bit, if you guys remember the rumors that there's gonna be like some sort of armored evolution. First of all, let's see if I can pick it out. So we got our boy Pokeexperto here, right? So there's these little keychain craps, right? They're called Pokemetal Mascot EX. It's for Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, okay? They've got all these ones. They got, you know, the 3 starters. Where's Venusaur? There he is. They got the 3 starters. They got Dugong paired with Dragonite. And who cares about these two? They got hidden counterparts for these 2 Mewtwo's. And people are thinking that, what if it's hiding Armored Mewtwo? Now, if you ask me why there are 2 Mewtwo's, because this one is X and this one is Y. Why else? But honestly, you never know. I'm not a fan of the armored evolution idea, but then some of you guys posted some comments which make it sound a bit cooler. For example, what if even 3,000 years ago, what if this wasn't just some war where, like, I know they stripped Floet away from him, so you can't imagine like Pikachu's fighting Floets. But what if it was like serious, like big monstrous Pokemon? Kalos had Mega Evolutions, was dominating with Mega Metagross, Mega Charizard X, beating mans up, being rude. How the hell Galar gonna freaking fight them? Kalos be the strongest region for inventing Megas. What is Z-Crystal's gonna do? What if their way of fending them off was what they're gonna call Armored Evolution? What if they had to come up with something that could counter Mega Evolutions, and maybe it ties back to Melmetal, since he was last seen 3,000 years ago. It literally says in his Pokedex entry, he was last seen 3,000 years ago. What if this sort of evolution with armor was invented by the people in Galar, and that was actually able to fight off Mega Pokemon? And why this sounds cool is that I didn't like how it was Armored Evolution. Like, give Mewtwo a held item, he wears armor. But what if it literally wasn't just like a held item? What if it was literally like a Mega Evolution, except it was armor? So like they actually have a Super Saiyan transformation that's not permanent. And so you get Armored Mewtwo, Armored Charizard, I don't know about Zeraora and crap. That makes a lot more sense. That would be a pretty good idea. It does sound pretty overpowered. If Kalos had Mega Evolution on their side, I almost think they shouldn't, because that's freaking overpowered. But if Armored Evolution is real, let's see how these dudes would go about revealing it. Look at these dudes. Look at Mewtwo. I think in the anime, technically this made him weaker, so that Giovanni could control him, but it's armor. It boosts crap. Okay, this is what I'm gonna end this video with, okay? Pokemon Sword and Shield, and the logos depict wolves on the top. We don't have much context to work with here, but the legendaries aren't a sword with the wolf on its handle, and then a shield with the wolf just sticking out. And then like, what is he like the shield gonna stab into, like the sword legendary gonna stab into the ground and walk around. The shield just floats. It's a floating shield with a wolf head. They represent the legendaries symbolically as an offensive Pokemon and a strong defensive Pokemon. As the names suggest, it almost represents conflict, fighting. Like a sword and a shield. That's fighting. What I think is that these logos are almost like a coat of arms. A typical coat of arms, like here's an Irish one. It has two important elements, alright? It has a shield in the front with the visual, and then two swords behind. Crossed swords. A sword and a shield. Coat of arms are used to represent like a noble family or a group, which takes you back to like the King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table approach, or just generally the approach of war. Look at this, Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's almost like together they make the symbol of coat of arms, but they're separated. Separated, indicating conflict. Oddly enough, they put a freaking wolf on the sword and a wolf on the shield, and they made sure to make them facing away from each other. Like they could have made them uniform, like you face left, you face left. They're facing away from each other. Opposite directions. That's the idea I want to throw out there. What do you think about Galar being connected to Kalos, Sword and Shield? What do you think about the idea of conflict? Izzy is a bad person, okay? He vaporized Pokemon. He's an evil dude who ended the war by like sheer domination. He would be an evil giant, alright? My dude had an immortal Floette. He could have just moonblasted everyone. He could win. Pulled out a death nuke. Again, just so you guys know, update videos like this aren't going to come often. It's not like for every small update, there's not going to be a video. It's going to be for big news and big pieces of information. Like if the backside of Score Bunny is revealed and he has like another bandage on his back, it ain't getting an update video. Alright, I'll post it on Twitter. So I'm going to see y'all. Shank that like button if you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Peace.